2K going for a realistic approach? How you doing, everyone? DMC back with another video, and we've got a lot to cover today. So I waited. 2K news dropped a few days ago, and I thought, there's going to be more. I'll wait, I'll gather it all up, and I'll put it into the one thing. And I was right. Mike Wang today came out with some more news. We'll get to that in a wee minute. We'll start off with everything that's been dropped in 2K23. And you know, over here at DMC Gaming, if you've watched any of our content, we're two-way minded. So we're going to start with the defense first and work our way up to the offense. So starting off, we actually have some new on-ball defense, apparently. Some new mechanics in place that will, according to 2K, accurately depict today's one-on-one player interactions. They'll do this with the new defensive shading mechanic, i.e. you're trying to force someone left, you try and force someone right, or you try and guard them straight up. If the defender does this correctly and the attacker, for example, so I open up, I show him the left, and the attacker goes there, and I anticipate a steal, apparently they'll either get cut off, lose their dribble, or fumble the ball. The whether that will be in the game after the first patch, your guess is as good as mine, but apparently it's there right now. So great defenders can anticipate, so they say, and they'll get rewarded for it, which is what we've been asking for years, to be honest. But we'll see how that works out. Moving on from that, we have the new shot blocking system. Now anybody that's played next gen NBA2K23 knows that the shot blocking is absolutely ridiculous.
Get snatched! Get snatched! Get snatched up in his mother. Get snatched up in his mother. Get greened! Get green, buddy!
You've got people out there that think they're Bill Russell and are block people from the paint all the way out to the 3-point line in split seconds. And yeah, it definitely needed fixed. It needed refined. So apparently, this year, blocks have been tuned to a more realistic level, leading to much more predictable outcomes with the right players making appropriate stops when timing their block attempts well. No more small guards pulling off LeBron James level chase down blocks like last year.
Here's James, drives past Bellinelli, blocked from behind by Robinson.
Robinson gets it cleanly, and I remember when he blocked Yao Ming's turnaround jump shot in the Garden.
So 2K knows it was there and didn't tone it down. They've said that it's always risky to try and pull off Tomahawk's back scratchers when defenders are remotely nearby. So apparently they've made some changes to encourage good dunkers to use a greater repertoire of dunk packages, which says to me, regardless of your defending, if a guy has high dunks, you're gonna get yammed on. Don't hold me to that, we'll see how it works, right? Moving on from that, into the steals and ball strips, which, if you played again much of next gen, the bum steals were still there like they have been for the last 6 years. The stupid steals are still in the game. You try and get a realistic steal, yeah, 9 times out of 10 it wouldn't happen, even if you had 90 steals. So apparently they've improved it this year, with tons of new content and better coverage. So if you're a smaller defender, quick hands can be just as effective in slowing down slashers and bigs in the paint, are as good as a shot blocker. Okay, we've also added failed strip contact layups to make sure defender steal inputs are respected instead of getting ignored. The amount of times you press X in front of a guy who's standing still, dribbling the ball in one hand, and you can't steal it. Yeah, like, what is going on? So hopefully that means that if they stand and do that, you can just poke at it. If If you're a good defender, it lets you poke that. We'll see how that works. Now, When the ball does get knocked loose by a blocker of steel, apparently you'll see greatly improved sideline awareness during scramble plays. Which means your guy won't just be standing there watching a ball fly by his head and he can do nothing about it, even though he's supposed to be a fucking NBA basketball player. Funny it took them this long to get there, but it's like, I think people forget it was only like 2K14 that we actually got the ability to block dunks, which is, thinking about it, still quite a long time. They've had a long time to fix that. Moving onwards to the playmaking. For the playmakers out there, apparently you're going to be able to facilitate the offense with a lot of new tools at your disposal. The lead to basket pass makes its return to next gen. What? See, this is what does my nut in about sports games, right? They take a feature out and then they add it back in years later. Just like, what have you been doing? Like, we've been asking for the Rondo pass fake to get put back in the game. Nowhere. But instead they give us signature passing styles to mimic some of the best floor generals of all time. So yeah, where did I get to there? Because that was actually doing my nutting. So instead of adding passes that you actually need, they would never do it. But now it seems like they've actually added some stuff in. So they've added a spot up pass mechanic, where if you press and hold B, the receiver you're pointing at with the left stick will perform a quick V or flare cut to get open on the perimeter. So they gave you a new passing mechanic on next gen, two new passing mechanics, sorry, that are for playing against AI with AI. Like, they're not giving you any new mechanics that will help you pass online. Fair enough. But they're giving you some new signature passing styles to mimic some of the best floor generals of all time, including Steph Curry, Magic Johnson, Jason Williams, LeBron James, and many more. So yeah, you'll be able to pass like them. So whether you prefer to drive the lane, back defenders down the post, spot up from behind the arc, 2K23 offers you the tools to cater to your needs. So they say. But yeah, here we go. And this is it. The moment you've all been waiting for. The offensive game plan. Now, the defense apparently was a point of emphasis in last year's game. Clearly somebody didn't play the game. But 2K23 is so jam-packed with new features and upgrades on the offensive end of the floor that it's just a perfect starting point. So they say. NBA2K23 was a banner year for perimeter players. Smaller guards with a slur of advantage over their taller counterparts. Yeah, they could basically sprint into your leg, full sprint, dribbling in the same direction over and over until they just mash their way past you. Because again, 2K gave up with their game the second they dropped out. But aye. They've also upgraded the Pro Stick. Because of course we wanted the dunk stick back for some reason. Now we can pick our dunks, which we've already been able to do, but now they've made it so that it's fancy dunks. Like, we already had it so that we could pick the right hand, we could pick the left hand, we could do a normal dunk, or we could do a flashy dunk. But now they're doing it so that you can do double throws. You can hold on to the rim. You can go up with your weak hand, which you could already do. You could go up with your strong hand, which you could already do. You got with two hands, which you could already do. But now, if you do up, you do a flashy two-hand dunk. If you do down, up, you do a flashy one-handed dunk. If you do up, down, you do a normal skill dunk with the meter. And if you do down, down, you do a rim hang skill dunk with the meter. So unique, these controls. And then there's a little video of Zion doing the rim hang, which I'll show you here.
Hey, it's Mike Wang, Gameplay Director for NBA2K. Today
Part
we're going
1.
to talk about the gameplay enhancements in 2K23. This year we've really expanded the tools for attacking the basket, including improved dunk controls. We've added a brand new feature that allows you to control when and how you hang on the rim. Rim hangs are one of the most fun things to do in the city, but watch out for techs if you hang too long in the NBA. For slashers who want to finish with a little more finesse, we've added an all-new set of quick scoop layups that are great for small guards.
And then they're like, finesse your way to the rack. For slashers that want to finish with a little more finesse, you can do double throw gestures are used for hop steps layups, while performing switchback gestures are switchback gestures are used for Euro step and cradle layups, which feels very natural. Which hopefully it does. I actually do like the sound of that. A simple hold left or right will perform an all new set of quick scoop layups, which again actually sounds quite nice. And then apparently you're going to have a lot of like contact layup animations for players like Giannis and stuff like that, body through a guy, which I'm looking forward to seeing if they do it okay, but you know it's going to be OP because it's the first time it's in the game properly, or sorry, first time it's been brought back into the game since, I mean, they did have a LeBron coast to coast match, which was pretty OP back in the day. But people forget about these things. Anyway, combining mesmerising skill moves, dribbling has taken a life of its own. Apparently there's going to be more size up moves, new crossovers, but the biggest change here is the adrenaline boost, I think, because they're trying to limit people spamming dribbles, so they say. And they show you a wee clip of Lonzo when he over dribbles, and his stamina just goes like, see that?
The new ball handling feature to prevent over dribbling is the concept of adrenaline boosts. Boosts are consumed every time you perform a hard go or explosive sprint launch.
So apparently, I mean, these spammers won't be able to do that anymore. But we'll see how that works out when the game comes out, because you know people will just complain and it'll get patched. That's just how things go. But yeah, the adrenaline boost themselves is a nice wee concept. So it sounds like you've got free boosts available, right? Per possession, per play, per player, per possession. So everyone on the team has these adrenaline boosts, and it's for when they do explosive movements, i.e. trying to blow by someone, I guess pulling up, dunking on a guy. That uses your adrenaline. For example, if you're watching the clip when Lonzo's doing the dribbles, if you look closer, when he over dribbles, it doesn't use up any of his adrenaline boosts because he's not tried to explode out of the dribble, so it doesn't count. Had he tried to explode out of the dribble and take Curry one way, it would have used one of those adrenaline bars, I assume, if he's sprinting out of it. I don't know if it would be the same if he's just trying to do a wee quick dribble out. We'll see. And yeah, and then when he pulls up, I imagine that would use another adrenaline boost. Or if he tries a flashy pass, maybe it uses one of them. We'll see. But I do know for a fact that Mike Wang came out today and said that on the defensive end of things, those adrenaline boosts will be used when you try and either steal the ball or block it. So you can't spam steal because your adrenaline boost will run out. You can't sit there and pogo stick up and down because again your adrenaline boost will run out. So it sounds like 2K is really trying to encourage smarter basketball, but we'll see how that works out, because that's not the target audience, so that's really going to really stick, I don't think. But that's just my opinion there. And moving on, the shooting. Apparently there's going to be more authentic shooting in 2K this time round. And things are going to be determined by the shot speed, the release height, the defensive immunity, and the time and impact. So shot speed, how quickly the shot gets to its ideal release point, of course. The release height is how high the shot is released, which I imagine is not just the release arc and where you hold the ball, but also how high your jump shot is, because I mean it's MJ's year, and MJ got some elevation on that jump shot, just like Kobe did. Just like a couple of great shooters over the years I've had, and I imagine it would be those two combined into play on the release height. Then it's defensive immunity, which is how effective the shot is against defensive contests, which I hope release height plays a part into as well, because at the end of the day, if you're MJ with a 40-inch vertical, and you not only are you releasing the ball at the pinnacle of your vertical, you're releasing it above your head with a wingspan that's quite massive, then surely the defensive immunity there is 99 nearly. Because the shot is very rarely put off by defenders. The timing impact adjusts the shot window to reward good timing at a cost of increased penalty for bad timing. So I mean, that's been in 2K for a couple of years now, but hopefully they finally fine-tuned it, whereas if I actually know my release, I'm wide open, I'm not going to be bricking that. Please. We'll see. Obviously once or twice, right? But not consistently, because that's just no good. And it's all because I don't use a meta jump shot. Like, just let me use the jump shot of what I use, come on now. Now, shot meters and feedback. Me personally, I don't use a shot meter, but apparently they're adding in 5 new shot meters to choose from, with some from the older games. With 15 more that will also be unlocked as the seasons progress. Which, for anyone that doesn't know, the season is just the year that 2K is going to be out. They do like a battle pass, but in 2K they call it season, and you'll get your new shot meter through your battle pass. But yeah, apparently you're still going to get a boost with your shot meters off, which is, I mean, why would you not want the boost, and why would you not want it off? Like, personally, I find it easier to time it by actually just looking at the guy's hand than looking at a bar going up the screen. That's just me. But yeah, moving on from that, we've got new badges. Apparently they've reworked the entire badge system into tiers, which means you actually need to get badges first in the bottom tier before you can move up to the tier, like a pyramid scheme. Because I mean, that's going to have you grinding your life away, baby. But we'll see, we will see. Now of course they've changed badges, and I will put a wee screenshot of what they've changed, because it is really too much to go over.
There has been a lot of confusion around what this core badge slot means, and Mike Wang just confirmed exactly what it is. Each badge will have a challenge, and that challenge relates directly to that badge. Once you complete that challenge, you can now put it in this core badge slot. Any badge that you put in that core badge slot is now a free badge. You do not have to apply any badge points. You can now take the badge points that you were spending on that core badge and now apply them to other badges in your tiers. So to be clear, it's not a grand badge, it's not a Super Hall of Fame badge, it's simply a free badge. Let me know what you think about this.
But there's one there that's really caught my eye, because it's called Midi Magician, which is improved ability to knock down mid-range jumpers off the bouncer out of the post like MJ. I'm going to be having that on Hall of Fame, and I'll be seeing you all in the rec centre. They've also redesigned Team Takeover now, where again it looks like they're trying to actually encourage people playing as a team and playing good basketball, where everyone fills up a portion of the Team Takeover meter instead of one guy being able to just spam it all and activate it at one time. It's going to be like every position on the court has to play good. They'll fill up their section of the meter, and once all 5 positions have filled up the meter, Team Takeover is active. Sounds good. Sounds good, but we'll see. When you're playing with randoms, we'll see how that works out. And moving on from that, apparently they've changed AI gameplay. NBA2K is packed with AI goodness on both ends of the floor for new gen consoles. Apparently, the offense is going to be more aggressive in setting up moves, more deliberate in what moves they use, and better able to understand the defender's positioning and use it against them, pretty much, right? Now on the defensive end, listen to this, right? They said they rewrote almost all of the major defensive systems, and this year we're refining them to deliver our best efforts to date. Every phase of our defensive game has improved, from transition defense, where we can identify when the ball handler has been picked up, allowing the anchor to leave the paint and get to their man, to making the no-free setting work as intended. I will hold you to that, because if I see another guy like Scottie Pippen dropping out of that corner to leave his guy open for an open free, I swear to God. So apparently, yeah, the defensive end of the AI is a wee bit more strict as well. It's going to lock you down. We'll see. Closing remarks. This year on both ends of the court you'll see improved gameplay that should translate to more wins and more seamless actions. We can't wait for the community to experience this year's gameplay, explore all the new features, and discover a lot of the hidden things we've snuck into the game. Oh, Easter eggs! Used to like wee Easter eggs, but 2K Easter egg? Yeah. I think that's us unpacked absolutely everything we can for now until we see some real gameplay. And that's the only way we'll actually be able to judge the game. Like, it's fine me sitting here and telling you about all these mechanics and being like, ah, yeah, they're the best thing ever, listen to that, sounds great. It doesn't. It doesn't do anything for me. Like, you can tell me it's the most polished piece of shit ever. It's still a piece of shit. Until I see some gameplay, baby. Because the last couple of years have been... mediocre's been polite. To be honest with you. Like, there's been some really great things come into 2K, but they've crushed themselves with the way they cater to nonsense. But yeah, I think that's about all we can really unpack, because like I said, we need to see some gameplay. Until we see some gameplay, you can say what you want. But I hope you enjoyed the video regardless of that, and I hope you're looking forward to some gameplay like I am. Because it does sound good. There's some nice things it sounds there, but again, you take it with a pinch of salt until you actually see it. But as always, if you made it this far in the video, thank you very much for watching. We're growing slowly but surely, we're getting there. And one day we will take over 2K YouTube as the greatest Scottish NBA 2K player that ever played the game. Is that bold? We'll back it up. But as always, until the next time, DMC.